dear Tooftaffers, dear drummers. Today we're gonna have a special day because we have a special guest here in Cluj. Thank you for having me here and hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me here.
Mr. Jared Falk from Drumeo. He's the owner and CEO of this concept, and I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. You know, I'm here on other business, working with our development team, and when you messaged me and said we could actually come to a studio and I could see drums is the most incredible thing. So I like the office stuff, I like the business stuff, but getting to hang out with like people making music and seeing drum sets is really cool.
I prepared a set of questions. I gathered those questions from my drummers from the community. So thank you guys for asking those questions. So what are the most important accomplishments in your life?
Whoa! You could have come up with an easier one than that.
That's for cracking the ice.
The most important accomplishments. I have 2 kids, and I'm very proud of them. They're 8 and 7 years old. I am married to a great wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am very proud of the team that I built to make Drumeo work. So a lot of people still think that it's a small team. I still get asked, like, are you doing this full time? Or are you just working out of your house? I'm like, no, there's a group of like 40 to 50 people that really truly care, and when you have someone like that, it reflects so good in the product. And so the team that we have that work on the product and work with our students is really, really cool, and I'm proud that I was able to assimilate them. It's pretty cool.
We appreciate what are you doing there on Drumeo, because it's a staple here in Romania.
That's good to hear.
Everybody watches it, everybody aspires on it, and keep doing what you're doing because it's awesome.
Yeah, I will. I'm only going to start it.
I have a question from 2 drummers from the community. They asked me to ask you the next thing. You saw a lot of drummers, superstars, rock stars, jazz players, funk players. What did you notice in their characters, in their attitude? What did you learn about it, about this experience of connecting with those people?
Yeah. All of the professional drummers, there are some common denominators and commonalities, you could say. And I'll kind of go through a few of them. Okay, so one of them is that they're all actively listening to music. Not just the music that they play, but also other styles. The other thing is they all have a very professional and positive attitude. So it's very rare that we'll have a drummer come in and start complaining and start saying things like that. Then when it comes to their setup, they're generally a little bit pickier. And originally, when someone was asking us for this special type of product where there was like a special type of mount, like a clamp, and we would kind of go, oh, come on, what does it matter what clamp they use? It's just clamps and so on. But over the years, I've found that it actually really does matter, because for them to perform at their highest level, they have to have everything absolutely perfect. And so I find that they're picky, they're super professional, and they're actively listening to new music.
That's really amazing. So don't be picky sometimes.
No, be picky.
Be picky, but don't be picky sometimes.
You know, a lot of people, like, they'll sit down on a drum set like this and they'll just play it. They don't want to take too much time to set it up. They don't want to waste other people's time. But if it's not set up right, you won't play your best. So take the extra 2 minutes, make sure it's set up right, make sure it's tuned, take a deep breath, and then play.
Do you work with different sound engineers during your filming with professional drummers, or you have just one engineer that does everything in the studio setting?
Yeah, so originally we had one, and that was a guy named Victor Gudera. Victor used to live locally, and then he moved to Arizona, but he's still a full-time member of the team. And he manages the whole technical side of the audio. He still will mix a lot of the lessons that you watch, mix and master, as well as make sure that the studio is it's really well treated. The room mics are placed properly. But then I also have someone on staff named Taylor Lennox, and Taylor is also great. He manages more of the day-to-day. Like we publish and film a lot, so Victor can't do it all. He can't fly out enough. So Taylor takes care of a lot of the day-to-day. He went to school for audio engineering. But these guys, they don't just do audio. Like our studio is set up in a way where one person, it's like a cockpit for a 747. There's the video, and then the switcher, there's like the lighting, then there's all the audio stuff. And so they can do everything, which is pretty impressive.
What's Drumeo's favorite mixer for recording?
See, I have no idea. I'm terrible at that kind of stuff. See, you have to hire professionals because I am obsessed with drumming, with teaching, and with business, right? There's people equally obsessed with audio recording, video recording, and so I want to work with those people because I can't be obsessed with all those things.
So it's very important to pick your team, to pick skilled people to do this job, to be passionate about, and to develop a pleasure doing this. Yeah. So pay your team.
Pay your team. Yeah. Well, Victor, he cares as much about audio and researching new technologies as I do about finding new ways to teach things or finding new ways to reach students. And so if I can just do what I'm naturally best at, which is what I think it's what other people appreciate me the most for. And then Victor can also do what he's best at, which is what other people appreciate him the most for. Then everyone's happy and everyone's working within their strengths as opposed to trying to make their weaknesses better.
This is a good information for our drummers to understand this and to develop good perspective and healthy perspective in playing and performing and understanding the relationship with the sound engineer. Yeah. And appreciate everybody's work. That's the main lesson I learned during this experience.
Yeah. So as you're getting to the next question, there was a time when we kind of, like our editing teams, people who edit the videos, we were just kind of like giving them content and then making, like just say, edit it in this way, like put them in a box. And we had to change that in the last 2 years because at every point in the process, there's room for creativity and there's room for someone to insert their ideas. And so we kind of shifted everything and we wanted to empower our editors to create really good content. I want to empower my audio engineers to be creative and try new things and always research new ideas, as well as with how we teach things and our instructors. So at each point in the process, there's always room for optimization and more creativity.
Knowing what you know, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Oh, my 20-year-old self. I think I was extremely impatient in the early days, so much so that I probably moved too quickly on certain things when I should have backed off. Back in the day too, I had a DVD, which you probably don't know about, called Jazz Drumming Secrets. Now, does anyone know me as someone who plays jazz? I don't play jazz gigs at all. I can swing a little bit, but I had no business really teaching people how to do that. And if I know what I know now, I would have just hired someone that really knew their stuff instead of trying to fake my way through it. There's the saying, fake it till you make it. Yeah. I kind of did that. Fake it. I kind of did that, but I don't recommend it.
Don't fake it.
Yeah. So I would just say, be patient. Partner with good people earlier on. It was years until I started partnering with people. And and then just stick to what I'm naturally best at, as opposed to trying to be something that I'm not.
What's the best drum book you recommend?
Best drum book? Well, it's hard for me not to recommend our books, but I'm not going to do that.
You can do that.
No, it's fine. We have drum books out, but I grew up with the most common books: Stick Control, Syncopation, and then I went through Realistic Rock by Carmen Appice. I went through that so much. I had the record. The record that came with it, and I had to go to find the specific beat. And I went through that book so much just because it was most applicable to what I was playing. And I went through it right-handed, and I went through it left-handed. And I went through it frontwards and backwards. Just I got so much value to that. And then there's one called I think it's called Paradiddle Power, or something like that. It's by Rick Stagnardi. There's this book all on paradiddles.
We're gonna search that.
Yeah, if it's still even out there. I didn't even know.
Internet get doing amazing things.
We're down with it.
What are your plans for Drumeo? What's the next big thing gonna happen?
Okay, well, like I said, we're only getting started. So within this last week, we finally launched our app, which kind of supports the membership. And now that we have the app, I believe the future of education is going to be more on mobile, and that people can do more things when it comes to playing along to music, when it comes to easily recording themselves. So we want to do more things where a student could, be practicing a lesson, pull out their phone, record themselves playing the lesson, post it below, and our instructors could give them direct feedback on exactly what they're working on. And it all happens within this one experience, just within the app. We want to do more things with helping students kind of track what they're practicing and make sure that they always know what to work on and where they left off. We're working on a big new project, which I have never even talked about at all, but it's called the Drumeo Method. And the Drumeo Method is it's going to be a linear path for a student. So if they are brand new, never touch the instrument, it goes on level 1, and they just work their way through the curriculum. So that's kind of within the members area. And this all happens while we're still booking amazing artists and stuff like that. But that's the guy I want. You can put that on the video. Is it Jeff Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Can't get him. It looked like old school Vinny when I first looked over. So when it comes to other stuff, I went to judge a competition in Singapore, and I saw all these great drummers from Southeast Asia, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, Vietnam, and it just made me realize how big the worldwide drumming community is. And for someone for someone in Vietnam or Indonesia, they can't necessarily afford all the same lessons that we can in North America when it comes to the cost of living and things like that. So I'm going to try and find a solution where I can help them for something that actually works within their budget and works within their cost of living. So now that we have the app and everything, we're going to research more into internationalization.
I can't wait to see everything you said here.
Yeah.
And I suppose that everybody's gonna get excited and go crazy and nuts about learning your content. So. Yeah, it's admirable that you succeeded in your projects. Every project and every business has its ups and downs. I found out during this day of hanging out with Jared. And if you really want to start a business or to start a band or to start to have to start to promote your business and your projects, learn economical lessons. Learn how to apply this in your business. Be an entrepreneur, because music is business. And you have to have the knowledge to apply the business in your music if you want to succeed.
I always say some of the best artists will probably never be discovered. And that's kind of the thing about being an artist, is you work so much on your art that you don't ever think about how you're going to get it out there. And as the internet has come in and kind of taken over everything, it's changed the landscape. So the way it was in the past was you had an artist, the artist would just focus on their craft. And then someone from a record company would look at the artist and say, we can help you. The record company was good at business, was good at marketing, was good at contracts, was good at booking. So they kind of filled in all the gaps that the artist was not good at. And now that the internet is here, the record labels are almost gone, or going away. And it's the artist's responsibility to do their art, to do their booking, to do their marketing,
to do
everything. And so if you're truly serious about making it a career, you have to start studying those other disciplines. And it's one of the best things that I did. Like still to this day, every single day I study business. I study the new types of digital marketing, how to reach more people. Because I know, like, if I have no students to follow my lessons, there's no point in me putting in lessons. Right?
Exactly, yeah. That's a good, it's a good point. It's a good point. So learn your things. Learn your business. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? See, you should have started with that one. Favorite food? I really like, I know in Canada, we like the simple food of craft dinner, which I have always loved. But I like another simple thing like chicken noodle soup. My wife makes really good duck, because my family owns a duck farm. So yeah, I would say duck, chicken noodle soup, and craft dinner.
During this stay in Romania, in Cluj, what food did you discover here?
I had lots of red cabbage one night.
Okay.
We had, what was it? The first night. I had duck the first night. Yeah, so I wanted to try the duck that was out here. And then I had steak one night with, I don't even know what it was called.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's this one like donut thing.
Okay.
With like sour cream on it and jam.
Papanash.
Yeah, papanash.
Papanash.
Yeah, that was good. Although I'm not a big, I don't usually eat desserts, but it wasn't so sweet. And then there was this liquor that it's...
Palinka.
Yes, that stuff's deadly. Slow down if you're having some of that. But the ones, apparently in the restaurant it was like 45% alcohol, and it's like, that's a lot. And then, but some people make it at home and it's 60, 80, yeah. It's dangerous.
It's devilish.
Yeah. Could run your car on it.
Okay,
So.
This is your turn. If you have any questions for me, shoot.
I would like to know, when you first decided that you wanted to be a drummer, what kind of gave you, like, what kind of made that decision for you?
That decision came up when I met my first drum teacher, Marcel Moldovan from Smiley. You know Marcel from Smiley. He plays since 2010.
Right.
I just wrote on the internet. I saw him that he plays drums, and I wrote to him, I want to learn drums.
Right.
And after that he saw the message, and in the next week he called me and told me that let's go at the coffee, let's tell our stories. And I don't know, I got that spark and enthusiastic energy and curiosity. And next week I went to his rehearsal room, and I was shocked when I saw him playing all those different styles.
Right.
I saw for the first time a professional drum kit with all the cymbals and all the pedals and drum heads that were brand new. It was a shock for me because where I rehearsed, they were old stuff, old kits. And in that moment, I said, okay, this is gonna change my life. I want to do this. And 10 years later, I'm here with you talking about this, and I'm very grateful for my friends, for my family, and for this drumming community, because it gave me strength and it gave me that bravery and encouragement to do this and to get people closer. With Tooftaff, since 2012, I started the community with every drummer I met. From famous ones, from underground ones, and I tried to make a better place, and I still going to try this for my from my heart, and I want to develop here in Romania something beautiful that could collaborate with Drumeo.
So let's say you look ahead 10 years from today. Tell me what the day would look like for you.
The day would look like I will be on that level. I could book international artists. I'm gonna have a powerful brand on Romania. I could put the Romania on the map of drumming. I would love to have a studio that I can do those things like in a Drumeo way, but in a Romanian way also. I would do events and networking parties for drummers. I also did that twice. And it was nice because getting people together is the most important thing ever, and this is how you evolve, changing ideas, not complaining, just changing ideas, investing, being creative, and learning as best you can.
Right.
So I'm in the process of learning things and learning to play the drums way better, and being happy to know wonderful people like you and like you.
These guys are awesome. So what advice do you have for anyone who's just starting out, especially like a young girl just starting?
Like a young girl, be brave, courageous, ask questions. Everybody needs to ask questions. Don't be ashamed of things that you don't know, because if you don't know something, someone is gonna answer your question, and it's gonna lighter your path, and it's gonna make you more aware of what you're doing. Read more, study more, try to study economics, because it will help you to develop a good mind, a healthy mind, what's real and what's not real, what can you achieve in 5 years or 10 years. Be very realistic and know your place in a team. Don't be egocentric. Try to be friendly. I don't know.
Oh, well, what's your favorite type of food?
My favorite type of food? Goulash.
Goulash? What's that?
Goulash is a Hungarian traditional food.
Okay.
It's like a stew.
Goulash.
Yes, it's amazing. You need to eat it if you go to Hungary.
If I'm hungry and hungry. I'm sure no one's made that joke before. Awesome.
So, are you ready to play some drums?
Sure, we can play.